Aloha, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 71 on YouTube. How you doing, guys? Uh, some wacky stuff yesterday. Historic landmark event. Um, I couldn't believe it myself. I kind of had a feeling this could happen, but I couldn't believe it like 100% of the way. Because, my mind, when you have a school like San Diego State playing the number one team in the country, the first thing when you kind of think of it objectively, that the number one team in the country should win and beat a team like San Diego State. However, the the moment happened. Couldn't believe it. San Diego State, not only did they lead 28-23 at halftime over the number one team in the country, but the Aztecs, after falling by 9 early in the second half to number one Alabama, I think it was like 48-39, but ever since that point, the San Diego State Aztecs just fought back, rallied from the 9-point deficit in the second half, and just played tough defense and made Alabama just play just crappy shooting. And the Aztecs did what they need to do, and what do you know? The number 5 seed San Diego State Aztecs defeated the number 1 team in the country 71-64 in Louisville, Kentucky on March 24th, 2023. And with that being the case, the San Diego State Aztecs have now reached the Elite Eight for the first time in school history and the first time ever in Mountain West Conference history as well. No team has ever gone this far for the Mountain West, much less like win games in the Sweet 16, or mostly actually in the entire tournament, really, at all. Because historically, the Mountain West only has like maybe one team, like the San Jose Aztecs. They are the only ones who really get past the first round, really. So most of the wins are coming from San Jose State, and San Diego State does own a victory now in the Sweet 16 as in a standalone on top of the Mountain West mountain. So, yeah. So, I couldn't believe it. I was at I guess it was the Brewers Bar, Rough Draft, on the top floor of the Sky Deck in Del Mar. That was a fun place to be. Good patrons, got to talk to some people, and some really good food at the Sky Deck. I got some, I think it was like a lamb pita sandwich or lamb pita um, from this one, I guess it's like a Mediterranean place on the first floor. I think it's called Ziki's or something. So, and then also got sweet potato fries. The only thing about the sweet potato fries, not only were they good, but I think I could have done without the I want to say it's called aioli, but I think it was called blue cheese crumbles. So I realized that I could probably do without it because it looks like, like a clump of white, um, like a clumpy white ingredient, and it has like little shades of maybe, um, you know, the kind of like blue. So my first thought it was probably blue cheese, but I might have to look at it again. Might be gorgonzola. I don't know. Anywho, sweet potato fries by itself was good. I would say probably an 8.6 out of 10, and the lamb pita really good. I would say it's probably a 9 out of 10. So I totally recommend it. Nice to have Mediterranean food and sweet potato fries together, and just enjoy time at the watching TV and having a beer. So fun times at the Sky Deck. But yeah, just watching that San Diego State, I believe that we will win. Will resonate quite a bit. And guess next up is an Elite Eight matchup with number 6 seed Creighton. Creighton Blue Jays and the San Diego State Aztecs. They kind of have a quiet rivalry going on. They've met each other quite a few times over the years now, and they kind of one up each other. So this kind of fit in that this is a spot in the Final Four between the two teams. So I hope the Aztecs win and they have their chance to be in Houston. And who knows? They might be facing Miami, Florida. They might be playing Texas. They might be playing. Who's on the other side? I want to say might be Gonzaga or Connecticut on the other side of the bracket. I think it is, yeah. Because on one side of the bracket, it's the five-seeded San Diego State Aztecs playing against the number 6 seed Creighton Blue Jays, and then on that bottom half of that particular bracket is the number 3 seed Kansas State Wildcats playing against the number 9 seed Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic. Not sure what the nickname is actually. Maybe a cool name, really. So that's one side of the bracket. And then you have the Texas Longhorns going up against the 5-seeded Miami, Florida, and you got the 3-seeded Gonzaga Bulldogs against the 4-seeded Connecticut Huskies. So with those 8 teams left, I believe only Connecticut was the only team in the remaining 8 that has actually won a championship. I don't think anyone else has. I think Gonzaga has been in a couple of championship games, but they couldn't beat North Carolina or Duke. And then, Gonzaga lost to Baylor. So, yeah. If anything, I think Gonzaga is 0-3 in the championship game. I believe they lost to Duke, they lost to Baylor, and they lost to North Carolina. So, although with North Carolina, they actually could have beaten them. They actually had won. Gonzaga was leading North Carolina with about a minute to go, and I was thinking Gonzaga might actually pull it off, except North Carolina was able to stay resilient, and they defeated Gonzaga. So, and I think that's how they won their 6th championship or something. So, I actually had Duke winning the whole tournament, but they only lasted to the second round. But the fact that the Aztecs are in round 4 and a good chance of being in round 5 in the Final Four, and then who knows if the Aztecs can beat either Florida Atlantic or Kansas State. I'm now pulling for Florida Atlantic actually now, and the Aztecs face each other. Who knew that you could have a San Diego State Aztecs and Florida Atlantic meet each other in the Final Four? And who knows? It could be Gonzaga versus San Diego State for the championship. How crazy would that be? Anywho, between these 8 teams, I think what's going to happen is San Diego State will beat Creighton. I think Kansas State will beat Florida Atlantic. I think Miami, Florida will beat Texas, and I think Gonzaga will beat Connecticut. And then Gonzaga versus San Diego State for the championship. So we'll see what happens with that. It's a pretty exciting time, and the fact that San Diego State, not only did they just beat the number 1 team in the country, but they advanced to the Elite 8, and who knows, they have a good shot of making it all the way. So, with that being the case, since we're still talking about sports, Lakers are doing pretty well. They are now 37-37. They won last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. It took them 74 freaking games to make it to 500, but there's 8 games left in the season. They're sitting in the 8th seed right now in the Western Conference. So right now they're in that little play-in bracket. So they're trying to get to the number 6 seed, but um, they're trailing the LA Clippers, who are I think in 4th place, and they're trailing, I believe, the Phoenix Suns. Um, I think that they're 5th place right now, and I think number 6 is the Golden State Warriors. So they are sitting at like maybe a game up, 2 games, 1.5 games ahead of the Lakers. So, and the Lakers just got to power through it, and they're doing it without LeBron James. So they're doing it with Anthony Davis. They have Lonnie Walker. They got D'Angelo Russell. They got Dennis Schroeder. They got Austin Reeves, Mo Bamba, Vanderbilt, um, Hachimura. So you got a good 8 players to work with here, and also some more players on the team too. So I mean, they only suit like maybe 12 guys, maybe, but you know, you got to utilize what you got, and so we got great value for trading away Russell Westbrook and got all these players on our team, including Malik Beasley. So can't wait to see how far the Lakers can go if they can get out from number 8 and actually get to number 6, much less number 5 or 4. So uh, tomorrow they're playing the Chicago Bulls tomorrow, and they're hosting them before the Lakers go on a road trip. I think 3 or 4 games, and then I think the Lakers end the season with home games against the LA Clippers, or I think that might be a Clippers home game, and then the game after that, I think it's April 7th against the Utah Jazz. So, and that should be the end of the NBA season, I think, roughly close to that. So we'll see how everything turns out. And it looks like the Lakers are going to be playing in the playing game, or be in the top 6 and wait for whoever comes out of the playing tournament. So a lot of great stuff going on. And LA Kings hockey is doing pretty well right now because they're fighting with the Golden Knights of Vegas right now for like the number 1 overall seed in the Western Conference playoffs, and try to get that top spot in the Pacific Division. And most likely, whoever does not win the division title will end up facing the Edmonton Oilers. So they're sitting really close with the LA Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights. So this is a really good season for the LA Kings, and I'm gonna try my best to go to a playoff game, and have a good time with that. Uh, so yeah, Lakers, Kings, and also I mentioned the San Diego Seals indoor lacrosse team doing pretty well, still number 1 in the Western Division or Western Conference in the NLL. So I can't wait for the playoffs for that one too. And yeah, I'm gonna make some picks here for UFC Fight Night San Antonio. Marlon Vera versus Corey Sandhagen, a featured main event in the men's bantamweight division. So let's start from the top. You've already heard my prediction from the previous episode that I'm picking Marlon Vera to beat Corey Sandhagen. It's gonna be an exciting fight. It could probably go all 5 rounds actually, and the main card I believe starts at 4 o'clock today, and I'm excited for that. Um, 6 fights on the main card, and I think 5 fights on the prelims. Um, I think as of this recording, I think one of the fights in the prelims had already finished. I actually had picked also Morano to beat Salvador, and he did. That was by unanimous decision. And Right now, Vergara is going up against Lacerda. I think I'm picking Lacerda to win that fight, and he might be on his way actually. And then you got um, Pineda against Lutz. I think I'm picking Lutz to win this one. We got Peterson and Alexander. I'm picking Peterson to win that one. Next up, we got Giles and Parsons. Um, I think I'm picking Parsons to beat Giles. And then your main card, the opener is the Doraev versus uh, Najokuwani, and I'm picking Doraev to win this one. And then you got Cape and Perez. I'm picking Cape to win that one. You got Andrea Lee versus Macy Barber. I'm picking Andrea Lee to win that one. We got Landwehr versus Lingo. I'm picking Landwehr to win that one. And we got UFC vet Holly Holm, your former um, bantamweight champion. Um, she's facing Santos. I'm picking Holly Holm over Santos. And of course, if you guys already heard my last episode, I'm picking Marlon Vera to beat Corey Sandhagen, and I think it might be a knockout by Vera in the third round. But I think he could probably win by unanimous decision. It'd be pretty close though. I would probably say 3-2 if it goes to the decision. But if not, knockout in the third round. So those are my picks for UFC Fight Night San Antonio, Vera versus Sandhagen. Follow those picks, guys, and in my next episode, I will talk about the roast wars at the Mic Drop in Claremont Mesa Boulevard, hosted by Leo Salavera and guest judge Mikey Perry, who does work at the Mic Drop. And I'm also going to review the show tonight at the West Studio. It's in Rancho Bernardo, featuring Kylie Troop. She's recording her set, and it'll be my first time seeing Jarwan Nelson live, and then Short Jake is on the card on the lineup too. So it should be a fun night of comedy. So, and then I guess since I'll probably be most likely be recording at the end of Sunday, I'll recap everything about the Elite Eight and tell you guys who's going to be in the Final Four. And also one more comedy show, Ube World, hosted by Mikey Perry at the Mic Drop, Claremont Mesa Boulevard. So yeah, fun times ahead this weekend and also next week with more comedy shows and talk more about WrestleMania 39 coming up. And yeah, more basketball stuff too, guys. All right, that's it for me, guys. There is one more XFL game tonight. It's the Battlehawks of St. Louis going against the Vegas Vipers, and tomorrow I believe it's the game between the Renegades of Arlington and the San Antonio Brahmas. And Monday Night Football XFL edition is going to be featuring two of the best teams. You got the DC Defenders and the Houston Roughnecks, and that should be exciting on Monday. I'm totally going to watch that Monday game. Okay, all right, guys. Fun talking to you guys, and remember to like and subscribe, follow, and if you also listen to my Spotify podcast, feel free to make some small donations. Anything is appreciated, or get the viewership numbers up. Spotify likes that, so anywho, same goes with YouTube. So, all right, guys. I will talk to you guys later, and this is Tiggy Maximus signing off, and Sarah Miedo, booyaka!